Representative Koznick, we're going to hold your bill over for possible inclusion. So if you'd like to make the motion and proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would move that House File 656 be held over for possible inclusion.
So, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members. I'm pleased to offer and author House File 656. It's an appropriation for a group called International Institute, Minnesota. Here in St. Paul, I had the opportunity to tour it over the summer and learn a little bit about what they do. I was introduced to it a lot because as an adopted person and new Minnesotan myself, I kind of took an interest in some of the work that they do, providing resources and services for new Americans, immigrants to Minnesota, and they do a naturalization ceremony that I was able to witness as new Minnesotans come here and they earn their citizenship. Met a gentleman that took him 20 years to finally become a U.S. citizen, and they had the ceremony there. But more importantly, it's the resources that they provide and the job training that's relevant to this committee for new Americans to be able to be self-sufficient and integrate into the Minnesota society. The Institute provides comprehensive outcome-based programs for refugee services, workforce development, immigration services, and anti-human trafficking services. And then I think also very important is integrated English language education. In doing some of my research, I found that immigrants who improve their English almost quadruple their income. About $10,800 per year income average for those with minimal English skills, compared to almost $41,000 per year income for those with improved English skills. And so that's a substantial increase in purchasing power, and one of the services that the Institute does. With us today, we have Jane Grotmann from the Institute with a couple other testifiers, one of the students, and then an employer that uses and hires graduates from their training programs. For over nearly 30 years, the nursing assistant training program that they have helps over 2,700 new Americans become employed in nursing assistant and long-term care. Obviously, an industry that we have a need for workers and a worker shortage. And 470 new Americans upgraded their careers from that in the healthcare field. In the 5 years since the hospitality career pathways started, another program that they have trained and employed over 225 new Americans in housekeeping and hospitality positions, marking the first jobs for many women in the program. And more importantly is with these two training programs that they have, for I think it's the long-term patient care program, they have a 94% retention rate after 1 year's employment. So people are learning a skill, getting a job, becoming self-sufficient, and are retaining, and employers are keeping these employees employed well over a year into that, which is a pretty high rate of employment after a year. So I appreciate your consideration for the bill, and have our testifiers come down and introduce themselves and tell a little bit about the International Institute.
Thank you, Representative Koznick, and good morning, Chair Mahoney and Vice Chair Noor and members of the committee. I'm Jane Grotmann. I'm the Executive Director of the International Institute of Minnesota, and so I'll give you an introduction to the Institute and also then talk specifically about our workforce development work. And I appreciate the opportunity to testify and educate you and inform you about the work that we do in workforce development.
And I'm going to interject here that we're going to try and get through the full agenda this morning, so you've got about 15 minutes.
Great, thank you. I'm a fast talker, thanks. The Institute is a nonprofit serving new Americans. We're in St. Paul, serving new Americans in our community. This year, we will celebrate our 100th birthday. We provide comprehensive quality services, including education, English classes, and college preparation courses, refugee social services to help newcomers integrate, immigration and citizenship programming. Last year, we helped over 1,300 people become U.S. citizens, and anti-trafficking services for both labor and sex trafficking in our community. We also operate the Festival of Nations every year, which is the largest multicultural celebration in the Midwest. But most relevant to this committee is our employment work, helping newcomers find their first job, and then doing the important work of helping them move into career pathways where they can advance to a higher wage that can sustain and support their families. Our medical careers pathway helps new Americans become nursing assistants, as was mentioned. We have the training on site, and then we help them advance into nursing positions and other advanced positions within healthcare. We have employed more than 2,700 new Americans in healthcare positions, over 2,200 in nursing assistant positions, and 500 have advanced into nursing and other advanced positions in the medical field, and that's already been stated, and that's happened over the last 2 decades. This program has an 86% job placement rate and a 94% 12-month retention rate in an industry that has a national turnover rate of 70%. So if an employer hires our graduates, it really dramatically changes their business model, saving employers money, and also providing consistent and quality care for residents. So critical to career advancement is success in college, as you all know. This pathway includes College Readiness Academy, which provides intensive academic preparation and college navigation. 96% of participants who are in the College Readiness Academy completely bypass remedial education in colleges, moving into their college coursework, which greatly increases their college retention and their college graduation rates, which is critical for people who want to move up into nursing positions. The hospitality careers pathway includes hotel housekeeping training and hotel supervisory and leadership training and dietary aid training for both long-term care and hospitals. As was mentioned, the pathway has employed over 225 people in the last 5 years. 85% of the participants in that pathway were unemployed when they entered the pathway. So the funding request we have before you will provide funding for the hospitality pathway and will more fully fund the work of the medical careers pathway. This funding will provide 35 new additional job placements for the hospitality pathway and help to fund the 137 medical career placements that we currently have. In 2017, we competed for and were awarded a P2P grant from DEED for $312,000 per year, and it's a 2-year grant, and we're very grateful for that funding. But these funds cover about 26% of the medical careers pathway and do not fund the hospitality pathway currently. So we are here before you to ask again to repeat funding for the hospitality pathway and to sustain the work that we do in the medical careers pathway. Thank you.
Thank you. To the next testifier.
Hello, my name is Denise Sheets, and I am from Presbyterian Homes and Services. We are an employer partner of the International Institute. Thank you for allowing us to speak today. I just want to tell you a little bit about Presbyterian Homes. We have been around since 1955. We provide senior services to seniors in Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. We are the 4th largest nonprofit senior services organization in the country. We're in the top 20 of largest employers in Minnesota, and we're the 2nd fastest growing in our sector. Jane spoke about the difficulty in retaining employees in this field. We have a lot of competition for the people we hire. Nationally, about 70% of the caregivers in our industry turnover, but with Presbyterian Homes, our turnover is under 40%. We credit that largely with our organizational model, but also with who we hire people from. In the past 5 or so years, we've hired about 140 employees from the International Institute in nursing assistant positions. We have 6,600 employees in 3 states, and about 60% of our employees are nursing assistants. And so that gives you a sense of the urgency of filling these roles because they are our largest role. In the past 24 months, 41% of our applicants have identified as non-white. I can't give you an immigrant breakdown of that, but I can tell you that a significant portion of our employee population is non-white, many of them immigrants. I would say most of our nursing assistants that apply lately are from other countries. I would say over 50%. A lot of African countries, because in other countries caring for seniors is a value and a priority. And so when they come to our country, it's a real natural progression into a career path that can really help support them in the future. We will need to hire about 46,000 employees in the next 15 years, just Presbyterian Homes alone, to meet our growth goals. We're looking to double in size in the next 15 years because of the senior population growing. And the needs of the senior population are going to increase by 65% in the next 15 years. And when you think about what is happening in our economy, there were 6.3 million unemployed people versus 6.9 million open jobs in the last year. So the supply is definitely not meeting the demand all over, but definitely in an industry where 60,000 older adults turn 65 every day. And just to talk a little bit about the people that we get from the International Institute, their employees are really dedicated to improving themselves and growing their career. We have a very robust scholarship program, and we currently are on par to give out $1.5 million in scholarships this year to our employees for various things, but a lot of those are nursing scholarships. And in order to qualify for a scholarship, you have to be willing to work just an average of 10 hours a week throughout the course of your education. And I would say the majority of our employees, immigrant employees who receive scholarships, work well over that. They're in the 20 to 25 to 30 hour a week, and many of them maintain full-time hours. And a lot of our American-born scholarship recipients are meeting the 10-hour requirement and not really going over that. And that's really helpful to us because we need those caregivers. We'd like to help them grow, but there is unintended consequences of the scholarship program, which means people reduce their hours in order to attend school. So these immigrants that come work for us are very motivated to improve themselves, but they also are very motivated to work. And that's really helpful to us. And so we're very grateful for that pool of employees. And another thing I wanted to just mention that our applicant numbers are currently about 200 below what we need them to be every month in order to meet our openings. So, and we're just one example of that. We're very blessed to be so large that a lot of people know about us, and we have great name recognition in the industry. For smaller organizations that don't have that, they're struggling a lot more, and there are nursing homes closing because they can't fill their openings. All over the state. And so this is a real crisis where we need to train more people to be caregivers, or we're not going to be able to serve the seniors that need the services. And then finally, to talk a little bit about another example of that lack of people, community colleges are canceling their nursing assistant programs frequently. Like each quarter, they may cancel a class because they don't have enough enrollment. That happens to us frequently. Century College teaches their nursing assistant class at our Boutwells Landing location, just this side of Stillwater in Oak Park Heights. And at least 5 times a year, they have to cancel a class because they don't have enough enrollment. And a program like the International Institute pulls from a different pool of people, and they could certainly serve more people in their nursing assistant classes if they had the ability to do that. So, you know, we are interested in helping them expand their services so that they can serve more immigrants, and then we can hire more people to care for the older adults that we need to care for. I think that covers it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have someone else that,
Yes.
Representative Koznick? Please identify yourself for the tape and proceed.
Thank you. My name is Marie Denise Uwizera. I am from Rwanda in Africa. I came here in America in 2005 with my children to join my husband because he had asylum. So when I came, now I work at in a nursing home at the Link Brumiston Care Center in St. Paul for 13 years. I started there as a nursing assistant in 2006, and now I am a registered nurse, and I am a charge nurse on a transitional care unit. When I came in 2005, my husband took me to the International Institute of Minnesota, and he says, I took my training here, you can do it too. After my nursing assistant training, I started working, and I took more classes at the International Institute for courage readiness because I wanted to keep going and have my degree. So the program helped me a lot as it helps so many refugees and new immigrants in this country. I learned how the college works here. I got to know how to find a college and how to register for classes. So I got to study skills. I have so many study skills at the International Institute that I needed to go to college. Then I started at St. Paul College. It was easier for me, and every year I was on the dean's list. I graduated as a licensed practical nurse in December 2008 at St. Paul College. Then later I said, I can make it, I keep going. Then I went to Minneapolis Community and Technical College, where I graduated as a registered nurse in 2015 with my associate degree. So the medical career pathway I followed at International Institute helped me a lot during my schooling, and they provided financial help and emotional support while I was in college and during my early employment. So I did not have any problem getting college books when I was keeping going to them, and I was confident in what I was doing, and I was able to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. I appreciate your time and energy here. Did you have one more?
Mr. Chair, just with the effort expounded due with the weather, we have one more testifier. I wasn't aware of it. I told him 1 minute.
Take that off your next bill.
Thank you.
Please identify yourself for the tape, and welcome to the committee. Please identify yourself for the tape and proceed.
Thank you. My name is Daniel Onyancha. I was born and raised in Kenya. I moved to the U.S. in 2009 and started working in a nursing home after challenging the exam. I came to know the Institute of Minnesota when my wife came. She's there, and she went to the institute. She got educated there, and through her, I benefited because I started a program at St. Paul College in the LPN. So before I graduated, the institute gave me 2 scholarships from the institute, and then I graduated in 2016. Right now, I'm working at Rose of Sharon Manor, Villa Center, and in 2 communities of care it's home care services. And now I'm done with the prerequisite for RN program, and I've applied to the North Minnesota West, and soon I will join there and take my associate degree. I'll appreciate your help through Minnesota International Institute of Minnesota. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your testimony. We really appreciate you coming in this morning. We know the traffic's been a little crazy. Does that conclude your testifiers?
That does conclude our testifiers. We'll take any questions. Otherwise, I'm happy to renew our motion.
Are there any questions for the representative or his Representative Noor?
Just a quick comment, Mr. Chair, members. I've known the International Institute for many years. I have seen them do the work, welcoming new Americans from the airport to their homes, to their jobs. They've done a phenomenal job that I've known. I keep on referring individuals who need services, worked with them from various capacities from the state to the community services. Thank you so much for the work that you do.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Representative Koznick, would you like to renew your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members. Obviously, this is a good innovative model that is putting people to work and helping our economy and providing needed jobs. And so I would like to renew my motion for House File 656 to be laid over for possible inclusion.
So moved. Thank you.